We're on the record in two cases. The first case is cause number 323398, and the second case is cause number 326796. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus August Jamard Griffin. Mr. Griffin, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Griffin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I can't hear you. His button must be on mute.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Griffin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. You may put your hand down, Mr. Griffin. Mr. Griffin, how are you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. Mr. Griffin, the first case that I have before me is cause number 323398. In this information alleges that on July 21st of 2018, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Griffin, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Griffin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Griffin, I have before me the misdemeanor plea admonishment. On page 1 of this document, I've checked the box off that says that this is a driving while intoxicated first, which is a Class B misdemeanor. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And on the second page of this document, there are a set of initials that purports to be yours. One set is on the line that says Nola Contendere, and the other set is on the line that states that you do not request discovery, and you're waiving your right to discovery in this case. And are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this document, there's a signature that purports to be yours over the line that says defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And I have another document here. This document is titled the trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal. There's a signature on this document above the line that says defendant, which purports to be yours. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box says that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And the second box states that you are waiving, which means that you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Griffin, prior to signing these documents, you informed the court that you wanted to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was done after the court gave you or explained to you the court's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also, in this document, signed a waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Griffin, you've had an opportunity to review these documents. Is everything, now, did you review the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you reviewed?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd also like to offer State's Exhibit 2 as the probable cause affidavit for this case.
Mr. Griffin, the state is offering State's Exhibit number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is the document that have your initials on page 2 and your signature on page 3. State's Exhibit number 2 is what we call the probable cause affidavit, or the PC affidavit, or sometimes it's referred to as the police report. The state would like to use both of these documents or these exhibits as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use these exhibits as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
No objection. State's Exhibits number 1 and number 2 will be admitted. Mr. Griffin, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Mr. Griffin, I will accept your plea of no contest I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 30 days credit for time served and tax and retire of the court costs, and that's to run concurrent with cause number 326796.
Mr. Griffin, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And if there's, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already spent in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. So you won't have to spend any more time in jail on this case. If you owe any court costs, you will not have to pay the court costs either, because your court costs will be taxed and retired because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Mr. Griffin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Griffin, do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Griffin, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Griffin, we have a second case here. This second case, let me do this. Also, Mr. Griffin, this case is also going to run concurrent with cause number 326796. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Griffin, we will proceed to your next case, which is cause number 326796. The information in this case alleges that on or about March 4th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2A. Mr. Griffin, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Griffin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Griffin, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State's Exhibit number 1, that's the document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. On page 1 of this document, the box that's checked states that this is a Class B misdemeanor. And do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this document, there are 2 sets of initials. One set is on the line that says nolo contendere, which means no contest. And the other set is on the line that states that you are waiving your right to discovery. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that says defendant that purports to be yours. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on this next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature that purports to be yours above the line that says defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box says that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And the second box says that you're waiving or giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, in both of these cases, well, in this case, rather, you are pleading no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You pleading no contest freely and voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
And you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, also, in this case, you have an opportunity to read these documents. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that you read?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd like to also offer State's Exhibit 2, that's the probable cause affidavit for this case.
Mr. Griffin, the state is offering State's Exhibit number 1. That is and State's Exhibit number 2 as evidence in your case. State's Exhibit 1 is the document that have your initials on page 2 and your signature on page 3. State's Exhibit number 2 is the probable cause affidavit or the PC affidavit, or what we refer to sometime as the police report. The state would like to use this document as evidence, these documents as evidence in your case. Is it all right for the state to use these documents as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2 will be admitted. And again, Mr. Griffin, is there any evidence that you're currently mentally incompetent to stand trial in this case?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Griffin, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, and it's for 30 days, credit for time served, tax and retire the court costs, and that's also to run concurrent with cause number 323398.
Okay, now, Mr. Griffin, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You've already served 30 days in Jefferson County Jail, therefore you would not have to serve any more time in jail on this case, and you'll be given credit for time served. If you owe any court costs in this case, you will not be required to pay court costs because the time that you served in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Griffin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And just for the record, I would add that the state will be dismissing cause number, this case will be running concurrent rather with cause number 323398. And do you understand that, Mr. Griffin?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Griffin, do you accept that offer as well?
Yes, sir.
And so, Mr. Griffin, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Griffin, you can follow the bailiff, and please have a good day.
Yes, sir.
If there's nothing else holding you in, you should get out today.